Brandon Boulware, a Kansas City attorney and father of 4, spoke out at a March 3rd hearing on House Joint Resolution 53, which is a proposition to ban transgender athletes in high school from participating in girls' sports. You know, this is the latest thing Republicans are on about, instead of voting for a stimulus bill. But in his speech, he recalled the day that he learned to embrace his transgender daughter as her authentic self. Take a look.
For years, I would not let my daughter wear girl clothes. I did not let her play with girl toys. I forced my daughter to wear boy clothes and get short haircuts, play on boy sports teams. Why did I do this? To protect my child. I did not want my daughter or her siblings to get teased. And truth be told, I did it to protect myself as well. I wanted to avoid those inevitable questions as to why my child did not look and act like a boy. My child was miserable. I cannot overstate that. She was absolutely miserable, especially at school. No confidence, no friends, no laughter. I honestly say this, I had a child who did not smile. We did that for years. We did that against the advice of teachers, therapists, and other experts. I remember the day everything changed for me. I'd gotten home from work and my daughter and her brother were in the front lawn. And my daughter had sneaked on one of her older sister's play dresses. And they wanted to go across the street and play with the neighbor's kids. It was time for dinner. I said, come in. She asked, can she go across the street? I said, no. She asked me if she went inside and put on boy clothes, could she then go across the street and play? And it's then that it hit me that my daughter was equating being good with being someone else. I was teaching her to deny who she is. As a parent, the one thing we cannot do, the one thing, is silence our child's spirit. And so on that day, my wife and I stopped silencing our child's spirit. The moment we allowed my daughter to be who she is, to grow her hair, to wear the clothes she wanted to wear, she was a different child. And I mean, it was immediate. It was a total transformation. I now have a confident, a smiling, a happy daughter. She plays on a girls' volleyball team. She has friendships. She's a kid.
If that doesn't get you, I don't know what will. That was very moving. You guys, thoughts on this?
So look, I love that guy, and it's not necessarily easy to love that guy because remember, for a long period of time he denied it, right? And he made his daughter miserable by denying her true self. But the reason I love him is because he cared and loved his kids enough to have an open mind. Now, look, guys, it's not easy to change your mind. It really isn't. And so I want to have some empathy for folks that haven't gotten there yet. It's easier for me to have that empathy because I've changed my mind about a lot of things. And now on social issues, I think I've always been good, but I was a liberal Republican growing up. I know that doesn't exist anymore, but I was wrong about a lot of things, and I changed my mind. And I look, for that guy, it's the things I changed my mind about our policy, about things I said, relatively easy. To change your mind about how you grew up and all the things that were taught to you from day one, that's a software written into our heads, okay? Your parents, your religion, your media, your culture, everybody telling you one thing. And to be able to be strong enough, him, his wife, everybody else in the family, to say, no, all the things we were taught were wrong, because I can see with my own eyes here. And I have such love for my kids that I'm gonna throw out all the things I've been taught because it ain't right. It ain't right. And so that's powerful. But the second thing I got out of it is, look, even now, when the right wing says, the trans girls are breaking all the records in the high schools and stuff. First of all, that's a giant exaggeration, and we told you that. Of course not, right? But does that happen from time to time? And yes, is it a major national problem? Of course not. They're using it to attack trans people. They're using it to do the culture wars. But I have to confess, like I thought, well, I don't know that it is fair that they're breaking records, right? Then I realized as he was saying that, who cares, right? Like, okay, yes, maybe there's one girl, she had the record and then it got broken, and so she's a little bummed about it, right? But that's nothing compared to that girl being able to play volleyball with her friends. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna prevent all of them, all across the country, from participating in those sports and having fun and being free and being with their friends because you're worried about Sally's record in like Springfield, Missouri? Like there's like 4 of them in the country that were broken. So what? Compared to the rest of it, come on, guys.
But I think it's worse than that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I just want to jump in and say I think it's worse than that in terms of the way that the right thinks that transgender people are opportunists. They are, and if they don't personally think that, they're absolutely leading all of their followers to think that. And they thought that with the bathroom bans, transgender people are just social deviants, perverts who are doing this so they can get into the women's bathroom. Oh my God, no, that's the way your disgusting mind works. That's not the way that trans people's minds works. That's their gender identity, you idiots, right? Same thing. So here's what you do. If you're a dude, you just go to conversion therapy, get a bunch of hormones, and bam, you're an Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics. No, idiot, like that's not how it works. They're not doing this to be gold medalists in women's sports. They're doing it because it's their identity. So that's the whole thing, is that if you conceive of gender so narrowly, if you deny people the ability to associate however they want to associate and live the way they want to live, then that's how you're always going to see trans rights. You're always going to see, if you're so stuck on gender, and it really is more revealing about you, because that's what you would do. That's what these right wingers would do.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the first times I did the post game with Anna, this actually came up. I don't remember what the situation was, but so many things about this just speak out to me. One, the culture war portion of it. It's hard for me to take this seriously from a lot of Republicans when I know most of what they're trying to do is trying to get quote unquote liberals or the left to say what they believe to be so obviously ridiculous and defend those stances in public, X, Y, and Z. Now, just on the merits, as somebody who played youth sports pretty competitively, I can tell you guys that not every dude is a great enough athlete to beat the best women athletes. In fact, most of them just are not good enough. Trust me when I say this to you. And, and I don't hesitate to tell this story again. I do remember going to Florida and being on my cousin's block and meeting his neighbor and his neighbor's sister saying, hey, you want to get into a race? And I said, I'm going to kick this girl's ass. She dusted me, dude. It was ridiculous. And I was somebody who took myself seriously as an athlete. So just this idea that just being a dude, quote unquote, as these people would have you believe in, showing up to, a women's sporting event and you're just gonna be much better than all the best women, that's ridiculous. And I don't think they realize that they're actually painting their precious Susans as, just terrible athletes. Like this idea that any random dude would show up and kill them. And then, once you select for the rare instance that somebody does happen to identify as trans, like this idea that random person on the rare instance that somebody identifies as a trans, that they're gonna come in and just kick everybody out and wipe people away, wipe these best women athletes out of the picture is insane. And that's before we get to even Cenk stuff about just on the merits, like, it's not that big of a deal if you don't have the record, lady. I'm sorry. One day you're gonna grow up, hopefully, have kids, have a family, meet somebody who you love, like a significant other, and you're gonna realize your little triple jump record never mattered at all. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous on 20,000 levels.
I got to double down on 1,000 things you guys said. So, and this is a perfect opportunity for a humble brag, which is my favorite thing in the world. Back in my high school, I held the squat record. Okay, And I went back like, I don't know, 5 years later, and somebody had broken it, right? And I was bummed. You know what happened next? I forgot about it until this moment. Totally irrelevant. Who cares? Like, really? Like, you're a grown ass man. You're worried about your high school records. Okay, come on. Get a life. Do something with your life. Okay, and then you'll figure, and things will be all right.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.